What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a Love and Marriage Huntsville Extra. Honey, we got Miss Melody SHARI. She did an interview with Carlos King, and she also did another interview, you guys, with DJ Richie Sky. So without further ado, I'm going to play the audio to both of those videos, and Miss Robinson, honey, will be in and out with her commentary.
Feel, Melody, we're now 4 seasons in. How do you feel when people say, "Oh, Melody, you changed. You walk around like you're the star of the show. You are a mean girl now.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah." How does it feel to know that's what people say sometimes about you?
Well, what I will say is for anyone, if in 4 years you haven't changed, then you need to evaluate yourself. In 4 years, you should have grown. You should have improved. You should have gotten to a place to where maybe you don't accept the same things you accepted 4 years ago. Maybe where you don't engage in conversations that you used to engage in 4 years ago. Maybe you don't, hang even sometimes with the same people that you hung with 4 years ago. Like, this isn't anything uncommon. We see it time and time again where people grow, evolve, and if everyone's not, we say it all the time, everybody's not meant to go with you on your journey is your journey. And so for me, it's not that, ooh, I think I'm better than everybody, or ooh, I'm looking down on anyone. I'm focused on my purpose, and I'm focused on my journey. I'm focused on my healing. I have 4 beautiful babies that I'm responsible for. I literally did just go through a divorce, and you guys have seen firsthand what that has been like. So me choosing to not want to engage in certain things or certain types of foolishness, for me, it's just what it is. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Call me whatever you want to call me.
I know that's right, Melody girl. You ain't got to apologize to these fools, okay, that don't like your elevation and your growth. Okay, it's only the people on the first floor that's mad.
It's okay, too. It ain't stopping no coins in my pocket. So, that's okay. I feel like I have a close enough relationship with God to where if I was moving in a way that was not pleasing to him, he would let me know. Because I'm a dreamer, Carlos, and I have been since I was a kid. I've had times in the past few months where God has told me, you need to do X, Y, and Z. And I've reached out to whoever that may have been, and I've said the apology that I may have need to say for whatever part I played in, whatever, right? So I have a decent spiritual relationship, you know what I'm saying, in tune with myself, that if there was something God didn't like, he let me know first before he told you. He'd tell me first.
I know that's right. No, I feel the same way. I'm like, y'all can say what y'all want about me. I'm here to please God, not please man or woman. I care less about what y'all think about me. I know who I am, and I know whose I am. And speaking of which, where were you when you found out that Martell was dating SHARI?
I don't remember where I was. It came across my timeline. Like, I promise. I don't remember. I guess it wasn't that important. Like, it's no staple in my mind. I don't remember.
Let me ask you this. Were you surprised at the pairing like the world was?
To be honest with you, I didn't even put much thought into it. I just said, oh, and I kept scrolling. Like, seriously, I was like, oh, kept scrolling. I didn't put much thought into it. Here's what I think. I think sometimes people forget that, first of all, me and Martell haven't been together since 2020, April of 2020. And I think that people forget that I've already seen him dating people. So
you have? I didn't know that, Melody.
I mean, he had a whole relationship in the marriage.
Oh, okay. Well, we knew about that outside of her.
Yeah, outside of her even. Yeah, I've seen. So this wasn't the first time I've seen him with a woman that's not me. So it didn't move me. It didn't ruffle any. Well, first of all, I wouldn't anyway. I divorced him, but it didn't do anything to me. It didn't stir any emotions. It didn't make me feel any kind of way. It was literally a scroll, and I kept, scrolling.
And you kept moving on up, honey, to that top floor. Okay, she don't care what these first floor people are doing. Okay.
Like, I had people reach out to me. Girl, did you see? And I was just like, oh, okay. I don't care. God bless you on your journey. Like, that's how I am. God bless you on your journey. could care less.
No, and that's one thing I know about you, and it's funny because one thing about you and I, we're very close, and we talk often, we text often, we email often, and we Zoom often. And what's funny is the world assumed that I set up SHARI and Martell because obviously I did Housewives. I'm cool with SHARI. I'm cool with Martell, obviously. And a lot of people thought like, okay, Carlos set this up. And a lot of people also say like, see, Melody, don't trust Carlos. And what's so funny is you and I get a kick out of people's assumptions when it comes to our friendship and our relationship. And we'll get to that in a second too. But did you think like the world thought like, is this a Carlos King mashup?
Listen, I'm so sorry, but I didn't think that because I didn't think nothing about it. Like, it didn't even go through my mind to be on something. Carlos said this up. Like, I didn't think anything about it. I did not. I just did not, like, not even to think who put it together or who did. I didn't think nothing about it. I didn't. I think because I'm so far removed for me, it's been more so of focusing on ensuring that my personal identity and my brand is no longer attached as much as possible, attached to Martell. That's all I be focused on. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think nothing about it.
That's interesting. Now, I never looked at it that way. You're so focused on identifying Melody SHARI, which is why you drop HOLT. Now I get the reason for the last name drop, because you want to, as much as you can, disassociate yourself from that part of your life and to reintroduce yourself to the world as this woman. Like, you guys met me married. You met me as this married woman who was going through this.
Yeah.
And now that I have divorced this situation, not only did I divorce Martell, you divorced any attachment with that outside of the beautiful kids you guys have together, obviously. But your focus is on, let me show the world who this new woman is.
Perfect.
That is outside of him. And that's how I feel when people try to say things like, oh, Carlos, you're messy. You talk about these housewives because you're bitter, which is stupid to me. But for me, I get what you mean now about having to be at a place to where you leave a situation. Like when I left Housewives, I'm going to be honest, it was hard for me to watch the show after that because I was trying hard to disassociate myself from the show, because when I left, I wanted to just focus on like my new venture of the company and Love and Marriage Huntsville. And now that it's been 5 years since I left, I now want to talk about the show, and I use this podcast to do it, but it's because I allow those 5 years for me to disassociate myself from that show. So now when people think of Carlos King, they think of Love and Marriage. And you want people, when they think of Melody SHARI, to think of Melody.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. You got it. I mean, you perfectly said, you know. And so that's the process of where I am, what I'm going through. So, of course, every now and then I still have questions come up, but a lot of times my answers are, I have no comment, I have no thoughts, because I don't even think about that, you know? Perfectly said, Carla.
It just hit me. So I got one more shady question, though. Do you think it's a real relationship or a PR stunt?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. Is that what they're saying? I don't know.
The girls are saying it's a PR stunt, girl.
That's what they're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't. God bless everybody on their journey.
Honey, that's a Southern woman for you.
God bless everybody on their journeys.
So when it comes to your journey, are you dating anybody, Melody?
I am not. I can honestly say that I'm not dating anyone. I have dated since, after I left Martell, I dated, but I'm not currently dating anyone. I haven't dated anyone in a while, actually. And I like it kind of this way. It's nice.
Really? You don't miss the...
Yes, I hop up. I hop up and go where I want to go, when I want to go, how I want to go. I ain't got to ask no questions. I just got back from Cancun. I hit Atlanta today. I'm leaving for LA in the morning. I ain't got to ask nobody if they think I should go. Do they want to go? Can I get permission? I do what I want to do, go where I want to go, baby. This is living, honey.
Yes, it is, honey, because Melody knows, honey, she was caught up in a slave contract. I told y'all some of these men, they live to marry you, but guess what they want to do? Guess what they want to do? They want to control you, okay? Because they are the big man. They are supposed to decide all the rules. You are to submit. You are to let that person know your every move, because after all, you walk down a damn aisle with them, okay? So, yeah, I am with Melody, honey, okay? She loving a single life, honey, okay? And I love it too. How you doing?
Carlos, you got to keep in mind, I got married at 22. 22, business, teaching, children, all of that for years. So now I'm single and I'm enjoying being able to move how I want to move, and rediscovering me and traveling and all of that good stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I have, of course, worked on myself to do the healing and self-work I need to do should I decide to be in a relationship, but it's just not something that I'm just so antsy about, and just like, ooh, God, when you gonna send me somebody? God, when you gonna send me somebody? No.
And I believe you, and I know you so well to know that that is the truth, because you have been, like you said, married since 22, and I think looking back at it, that's a young age to be married, because I always tell women, and don't laugh when I say this, Melody, I feel like a woman in her 20s, she should be a hoe. I feel like every woman should have a hoe phase. And men too. I'm not going to exempt the men. I feel like in her 20s, you have to be a hoe. And by a hoe, I mean explore, experiment, experience, date, use protection, of course, because we got monkeypox and laryngitis and whatever, chop. We have a lot of things happening in this faucet water. So, anywho, I feel like...
Well, I don't want to be a hoe. I ain't never been a hoe, and I don't want to be a hoe.
You a hoe, you're a hoe. How do you know? Well, Martell is the hoe, okay? And he constantly tells us so, okay?
And what I'm saying, I say I'm enjoying traveling and enjoying life, but I ain't saying nothing about being a hoe.
No,
Listen, let me tell you my thing.
He's just talking about living your life, and dating different people and really figuring out who you are, because you really don't know who that is in your 20s. You kind of get more settled. Some of us come into our own maybe late 20s. I know I kind of did. I began to realize what I wanted, what I didn't want. So I know what he meant by what he said, honey.
Favorite phrase, hang out don't mean hook up. See, people see you hanging out with somebody that they y'all hooking up. No.
So now, I just feel like, not to be a hoe, but I feel like a...
That's what you said?
It's what I said, because I think people would get it when I say it that way. When I say a hoe, I mean, hopefully you're able to...
Trying to clean it up.
Let me clean it up. Because the Lord is still working on me. When I say be a hoe in your 20s, I mean, hopefully you're able to just experience life before you settle down with just one person.
Okay, you cleaned that up really well. I like that. What I would say is, looking back at it now, first of all, I'm very thankful that I did get married at a young age, because I do feel like it cost me to avoid certain things that a lot of young 20-year-olds go through and experience. Established very quickly, 2-parent household with my kids, you know what I'm saying? So I am thankful for the experience that I had, but I will also say, when I look at, I guess, how quickly I got married, because we've been dating for 9 months, and then he proposed, and we got married like 7 months later. Love bombing is real, right? And when you're young, that looks cute. So to the young girls who watch your podcast, when you're young, that is cute. When someone is, I'm not going to say smothering you, but always wanting to be up under you and trying to get all your time, trying to get all your attention. It's called love bombing. Really.
Yep, because that's what the narcissist does, honey, okay? Because they codependent like that, okay? Why do y'all think they pick out codependents? Okay, and if you are not a codependent, they are on a mission to try to make you one, okay?
What it is, it seems like, ooh, they really into me. Oh, they really care about me. But sometimes a person is love bombing you because because they want to be able to control you and have you to themselves, not because they're necessarily the right person for you, but they see the light in you and they see who you are, right? So you have to be careful. You have to be careful. It's best to take things at a slow pace, to grow into certain things, build friendship, and don't just, at 21, I was 21, don't be love bombed and then be married at 22.
I could not agree more. So all you 20-something-year-olds that's listening, or even your early 30s, your 20s should be to experiment with life, your career, and all those things. And to me, your 30s should be used to set things in place. Find the husband or the wife. Find the career in which you want to go to, so that when you're my age, I won't tell y'all that much, but when you're my age, 30-something, exactly, thank you, because I look this good, black don't crack. So you're able to enjoy life, and that's been the biggest thing for me, and I could see that shining through with you. So before I let you go, we got to get into this new season that's coming on September 10th, 8 o'clock on the Oprah Winfrey Network, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Without giving so much away, what can you say to us about this upcoming season?
Well, I will say first, the most interesting piece, I think, is that the first part of the season, due to me, you already know, refusing to film with my ex.
Yes.
That was me.
That was her.
We made that clear. That was me.
And I would call her, and she would say Carlos, and I would say, never mind.
Yep. So refusing to film with my ex. This second half, you guys will see us on camera together. So I know that's going to be a big thing, just people seeing how we're going to interact, what that dynamic is going to be like. Of course, seeing us come together in regards to protecting our kids from people who are old enough to be bullying them and stuff like that. So you guys are going to see that happen. And I think just more of the evolution, whether good or bad, friendships and marriages and even, businesses, what's going on and what's happening. I think you're going to see more business as well, business side of things this second half, more so than you did the first half.
Yeah, and you'll see more of the business side. Melody has a skincare line that's doing very well. But like she said, you also get to see just what co-parenting looks like. And one thing that I've learned working with Nene Leakes when she divorced Greg, may he rest in peace. One thing she said to me during season 4 was, I need a break, Carlos. Just allow me to be at home and to be still. I love this show. I will give you whatever you want. But but when I say to you, I don't want to do this, just respect my wishes. And that's what you said to us. You said, Carlos, I love this show.
Yep.
I just can't do it right now. I can't film with my ex right now.
Yep.
I just can't. I may wake up one day and say, let's do it. As of right now, I cannot do it. And I'm happy to say we all, of course, supported you. And
yeah, y'all did.
Yeah, and the fact that you said, I'm not going to give too much away, but it's very interesting what brings Melody and Martell together. We get to see something happen with Miss Wanda at this event, which, by the way, honey, I saw the episode, and it is...
I don't know.
I mean, Melody was dressed as Mr. T, and she was ready to rumble.
Child, I could see Miss Wanda now, just misspelling stuff, mispronouncing stuff. Y'all know how Miss Wanda do, honey. You better reconcile.
But outside of that, you still get some business. So let's be clear. Y'all love the drama anyway. I don't care how much y'all say y'all don't. Y'all do. But anyways, it's a much balanced season.
But you know what, Carlos? Can I say something?
Yes,
Back to it being real. That was still very real for me. Meaning, had cameras been present or not, had I seen her at Target or Walmart, it would have been the same thing for me. It was just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't matter at that point where anything went down or what cameras were present. It was just what it was gonna be. So that's back again, real. It was real.
Oh, it's real, and it gets real up in here. But the only thing I will say is The moment you think you figured out, you haven't. And this season, I will say this season has more twists and turns than every other season. Like, the moment you think, like, okay, we're good, something happens, and you're like, oh, we ain't good? And then you're like, oh, wait. So, it's a roller coaster that we will be addressing at the reunion. So, Melody, where can people find you, follow you, support you, and all those things, my love?
Thank you so much. So follow me, Melody S. Holt. Don't worry, my brand team is working on getting my username changed. Anyway, but Melody S. Holt, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And please, support. My biggest thing that I'm running right now is my 7th Avenue skincare line, which is super important to me. I actually, Carlos, grew up on 7th Avenue. And, that is where I learned the importance of hygiene, taking care of myself, taking care of my body and my skin. And I suffer from a skin condition where my great-grandmother, I actually posted a picture from my story today. She actually had given me something to help with that. So I got that incorporated in my skincare line, working with a Black female chemist. She's been a chemist for over 18 years.
All right, you guys, now we are going to check out the interview that DJ Richie Sky did with Miss Melody SHARI. So I will be playing that audio, and I will be in and out with my commentary.
Ree is back in the building.
How
are you today?
Oh my gosh, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about the second half of season 4. Can you tell me why y'all needed 2 halves for this season?
You know what? Honestly, I think that Carlos loves to have the anticipation, right, of the audience. He loves for y'all to be kind of on pins and needles waiting to see what's going to happen. So, the network ordered several episodes, so I'm sure for him it made sense to air half of those episodes, give it a little break, make y'all wait just a little bit, build up the anticipation, and then, of course, roll back out with the second half.
So when you guys have this slight little break and you have to go back into filming, are you mad from things that you saw from the first half of the season? Like, how are you feel? Like, does that influence how you react to people going forward in the next half? Because that's got to be it's kind of a nonstop thing.
Well, believe it or not, we already filmed all the episodes. So we're done filming. We finished filming in August.
Okay. So you guys
so you guys are going to see footage that started maybe around May. That we filmed May, June, July, and August. Yeah, so we're done.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
But to lead to kind of some of the point, what I will say is different. Whenever the network started airing episodes before we were done filming the seasons, it definitely affected how you felt as you're filming with certain people and you're able to see what was filmed a couple of months ago and what was said. They didn't do that in the beginning when the show first came out. It was not like that. So when they moved to that method, oh yeah, it definitely was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Okay. I want to ask you real quick, because I know we don't have a lot of time. How is business going?
You know what? Business is going amazing. I feel thankful. I'm blessed. God is amazing. You got an opportunity to try some 7th Avenue.
I know. Listen, I just did another shoot, right? And we did some stuff with your product line. So more of that to come. Offline, I'll talk to you about that.
Oh, yes, business is going very well for me. Like I said, I give God all the praise and thanks. I have a successful skincare line that I just launched, and I've got some big conversations happening right now around my skincare line that I'm unable to disclose, but I've got some big conversations happening. I have my class that I still teach. I have a current class running now, matter of fact. So I've had over 500 students who have gone through my master class since June of 2020.
Can you tell us what the masterclass is about? Because I want people who are watching this to also know, the thing I love about Carlos King's shows and the shows on OWN, and especially with Love and Marriage Huntsville, is that
we do get to see a lot of you guys' business endeavors. So can you tell people what the class is about so that they can know how to join and, you know, what information they'll be getting?
Absolutely. So my master class is actually helping my students get into a multi-billion-dollar industry called property preservation. So property preservation has been a white male-dominated industry for a long time. I got in the business when I was 25. It was 2010. So you're 25. Yeah, well, 25. So I got in when I was 25, and it's the process of working on and maintaining foreclosed properties for the banks. So when you see foreclosures in different neighborhoods and communities, a lot of times people don't think about who's maintaining these properties until they're sold, who's cutting the grass, who's doing the lock changes, who's doing the evictions. If a storm comes through, who's taking care of that storm damage? Well, as property preservationists, that is what we do. So I've been teaching students all across the country. I've had students from California to New York to Florida who've taken my course and gotten contracts themselves for their businesses to get in this game. Some of them have been able to resign from their 9-to-5s. And I've loved being able to teach my students, mostly African-American women. I've loved teaching them how to get in here and make their money and build generational wealth. So
you just taught me something I did not know about. I mean, literally, and I was telling somebody else the other day, I was like, I got into real estate on the side because of watching you guys.
Wow.
And yeah, no lie. And so I just learned something else. Do you have to have a real estate license to do property preservation?
No license required, no experience required. I have students who come through my course. This is their first experience pertaining to real estate. And so with my master class, they get a whole team. They get 4 people who are behind them, making sure that they're getting contracts, getting work orders done, teaching them how to build their subcontractor team. They get access to all the forms that I created and used when I was in the game. It's an amazing 5-week course. And so I love, I was an educator. I taught middle school English. So this allows me to still enjoy, do what I enjoy and what I love, which is teaching and helping people to know that they can go to another level in life. And so it makes me feel fulfilled teaching.
I love that. What is one of the biggest lessons that you took away from working? Because we're talking about when you started the show, you worked with the comeback group, but then you left, right? What were your biggest takeaways from that experience that you could maybe impart to somebody else who may be thinking about, starting a collective with their own, group of friends or colleagues or partners? Like, what is something they can take away from it that you learn and that you may even want to warn them about?
Absolutely. So first I will say, contrary to popular belief, I want to start with this. You can do business with friends, okay? It is possible. There are plenty of people who are friends running successful companies. It is possible. So I do want to say that coming out the gate. I also, though, want to say, pay attention to red flags, Pay attention to red flags and don't be afraid to kind of go against the grain and make the decision that you feel is best for you, best for your business, best for your brand, despite other people maybe wanting you to go the route they want you to go. Be confident in what you feel you need to do that's best for you. So many times it's easy to be swayed, right? It's easy for us. We kind of sometimes, you have people who are very wishy-washy. They go with the wind, right? And so I would say stand firm in whatever your decision is. You guys saw me on this show say multiple times that I was not interested. Nope, I'm not interested anymore. I'm not interested anymore. And I stood behind that, and that continued to be my answer. So pay attention to the red flags. Stand firm on what you feel is best for you. But even despite all of that, do know that with the right people, friends and business can mesh well together.
Okay.
So that means she is not down to work with Marceau, to work with Tisha, to work with Kimmy and Maurice on the comeback clique. Okay, I know a lot of people always thought that Melody thought she was bigger and better than the group, but I don't think that they all have the same drive that she has. I do think that, everybody is successful in their own right. But, Melody is powerful, honey, okay? Like, she on some superhero type of shit, so they can't keep up with her if they tried, okay? So, and then with them, I don't think she really trusts the group. And then you got Martell, too. You really can't trust him. Not in no business, honey, okay? Can't trust him in the bed, business, nothing, okay? So, yeah, I just feel like, she just never really felt at peace working with them. And then some of them be lying and covering up stuff for especially the men. I noticed they be trying to lie for each other and stuff. I wouldn't want to work with men that knew that my husband was cheating, okay? Was actually there with the girl, with my husband. Like, that shit would never settle well in my stomach, honey. Okay, Melody girl, I don't blame you.
Do you think that maybe the cast perceived you as being difficult, or do you think that they understood where you were coming from?
She didn't give a damn, Richie.
I'm not really sure how they perceived me. I'm not sure. I think Kimmy for sure, was very much so. I would say she and Maurice probably were much so understanding, especially when the divorce started happening, right?
Right.
Going on with the marriage, being divorced. I think that they for sure understood me not wanting to have any, dealings and start to cut ties as much as I could with things that had been held between both of us. But again, I don't worry too much about what other people think of me or how they perceive me. I believe in staying true to who I am. So once my decision became, I'm not interested, that stayed my decision consistently throughout the process.
Okay. And I want to also ask you, because we see a lot of reality TV personalities, start businesses. And we've also recently seen, I won't name any names, some that haven't been received so well, right?
Martell and SHARI. She by SHARI or she by Sheen, honey. Okay, whatever you want to call it.
What to you is the key to, as a reality TV star, starting and executing a successful business plan? Because I think that's really, really important.
So one of the key pieces for me and why I've been able to launch from my God Said Go merch line, launch my masterclass, launch 7th Avenue Premier Skincare, launch a whole production company, by the way, that has a show that's been picked up. You will hear about that in the future.
Come on, girl.
Very near future.
You got some tea for us. Okay.
Yes, I do. I'm excited. But for me, I'm about to walk in New York Fashion Week as well this weekend.
Come on, Melody girl. This girl is on her grind, honey, all the time, honey. Okay. Hook-headed couldn't keep up with her. No wonder he went, he already on the first floor. No wonder he went down to that basement, honey, to get Ariana. Okay.
So for me...
Wait, stop. Melody, you cannot drop bombs like that and then just keep on trucking.
Do that? Come on.
No. New York Fashion Week?
I am, yes. I'm walking this weekend. I'm super excited.
That's huge. Can you tell us for who, or can you tell us what the circumstances are?
Absolutely. So Sunday at Sony Hall in New York, I'm actually modeling for Stephen Godot, and beautiful layout. I've tagged him in some of my stuff on my Instagram as well, and so it's gonna be fun. Traveled to New York last week, and I actually trained with one of the best walking coaches in the game. He's trained Tyra Banks, Naomi Campbell, to name just a few, honestly. And I was gonna lead to how I feel, in terms of, anytime you start something and you put your mind to something, you have to be willing to do the work when it comes to that. And I think that's why I've been able to be successful with my different businesses and my different ventures, is because when I decide to do something, I work it. It's nothing for my audience to see me downstairs packing my 7th Avenue skincare products. You know what I'm saying? I'm very hands-on. I'm very involved. I have to be a part of the process from beginning to the end. I'm not too quick to turn over tasks and have do things. I have to be hands-on and involved. And I think when you're talking about building a foundation, when you talk about making people fall in love with whatever it is you're giving that's for sale and falling in love with the story, falling in love with the product, showing that process throughout and the tenacity that comes along with being a woman business owner and what that looks like. You know, they've seen me late at night packing orders. They've seen me early in the morning packing orders. I just shared with you, I flew to New York. I was in New York for 24 hours and did 2 walking training sessions in 24 hours because I had other engagements, so I had to get back. So it just shows you got to be dedicated. You got to be dedicated, consistent.
Y'all hear that, SHARI and Martell? Okay, them 2 people are not dedicated. Okay, they are dedicated to acting like they are on the first floor.
Products, I haven't changed my chemist. I haven't changed any formulas. The same people who started buying my products in February, they're getting the same product now in September. You know what I mean? And so I'm firm and a hard believer in you have to work your business. You have to.
You mentioned production company. I'm not gonna let that slide, okay? So I just want to know. I know you can't tell us what the shows are. What kind of shows would you like to produce?
Okay, so I have a production company called Tilted Crowns Productions. My manager, Dawn Michelle, and she's been in the game for over 30 years. She's, worked with and managed people from Tupac to Michael Jackson to everybody in between.
Wow. All those celebrities, honey. Those are stars, honey.
And so whenever we decided to start this production company, we got an amazing showrunner as well who's with Paramount. Actually, he was signed to Paramount by the president. And so we decided to come together, create this production company. And I will, just to give you a little bit, what we have coming out literally shows the mind, body, and spirit coming in one. So you will get to see what that looks like, from the perspective of how do you make sure you're taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit while still getting to the bag.
I do have to ask you about the season real quick.
Absolutely.
We see you and Martell on what looks to be a fabulous vacation, having a great moment, but then last week we saw all heck break loose on social media. Can you tell us or give us a clue as to where things took a turn?
Okay, sure. So the vacation with the kiddos, it was what it was. It was a great trip. I didn't have any problems on the trip. I didn't have a problem even inviting, my ex and his mother to come along. The trip was fine. My mother was present as well. I think what you guys have witnessed is what you've witnessed since 2018 when we started filming this show. Just that up and down roller coaster, up and down, back and forth. 1 minute, what I dealt with for many years, 1 minute you think you're good, then the next minute you're not, or as soon as someone doesn't get their way, it's an issue, it's a problem. And, I'm at a place in my life, DJ Richard Sky, honestly, where for me, peace and boundaries are so important because I went through so many years of those things being taken advantage of that now it's very important to me, and I have no problem expressing that and standing on that and not folding when it comes to that. And so anything that crosses boundaries in terms of me, any personal information about me, anything that seems like it's going to mess up my peace, when I see it now, I just say cut. And sometimes people don't like it when you say cut.
Yeah. That's I think some good advice for a lot of not only ladies but men to hear as well. Just also real quick, what do you make of the very public display of the relationship between Martell and SHARI? Do you believe this?
I really haven't put much thought into it. You're not the first person to ask me that. I really haven't put much thought into it. I don't really think about what my ex has going on in his life, his romantic life, private life, or any of that. So when I saw it, I found out when you guys found out, I saw it on the blogs, and I was scrolling on social media, and I kept scrolling.
She ain't got time for that clout chasing relationship, Richie.
And honest, I didn't think much about it. I kept scrolling. I didn't hit up my girls, hit him up, and say, oh, I didn't think anything. I think because I have tried to so far remove myself from that whole energy, you know what I what I'm saying? It'd be like, shoo, you know.
Last question. What kind of energy is Mel bringing to this second half of the season?
I think for me, the second half of the season, starting out, you're going to see the energy of a mother who is protecting her children at all costs. Definitely in the first part. As the season, this second half continues on, you see me get back to my place of, okay, let me remind you, I can get with you to my, okay, let me calm back down and enjoy my house on the hill and my peace. You know what I'm saying? That Mel. I'm being honest, like, I tell people all the time, I love being at home. I'm like, please don't call me, don't bother me, just quiet, just peace. I barely even turn the TV on. So I love being here in my peaceful space, and as we get through the rest of the season, once I have my moment of reminding people don't play with me, I very quickly go back to my peaceful space.
Well, I just want to say we love both sides of Melody, and so we cannot wait to see.
All right, you guys, that is all Miss Robinson got to say about all of this. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.